Begin with a developing story. Russian President Vladimir Putin addressed the world to make his case for actions in Ukraine.
And just within the past hour, he issued an order about what he calls peacekeeping operations, moving into action that some worry could mean his troops are closer to entering the country. CBS 2's Alice Gaynor live in our newsroom now with more on all of this. Alice.
Maurice and Christine, today he recognized the independence of two separatist regions in eastern Ukraine, making them independent states, paving the way to provide them military support. He alleged Ukraine had inherited Russia's historic lands and after the Soviet collapse was used by the West to contain Russia. The U.S. warned last week that a move like this would violate international law and necessitate a swift and firm response.
There's just no independent Ukraine. Ukraine just follows any Western demands.
Russian President Vladimir Putin's decision to sign a decree recognizing independence of two breakaway regions in eastern Ukraine, including the industrial areas of Donetsk and Luhansk, followed a meeting of his Security Council. During the meeting, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov warned the West is not ready to accept their proposal that NATO not expand eastward. He's set to meet with U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken Thursday.
But my job as a diplomat is to leave absolutely no stone unturned to see if we can prevent a war.
The move now paves the way for Russia to openly send troops and weapons to the long-running conflict between Ukrainian forces and Moscow-backed rebels. A 2015 peace deal ended large-scale fighting, but there's been a spike in clashes in those regions, raising concerns that Russia could use the situation as a pretext for an attack on Ukraine. There's an estimated 150,000 Russian troops on three sides of Ukraine. The U.S. has deployed thousands of troops to NATO allies in the region, though the president has said he will not send U.S. forces into Ukraine if Russia invades.
Today might be that day, and we hope that's not the case, which is why we continue to exhaust every possible diplomatic option here going forward.
President Biden is willing to meet with Putin if he does not attack, though the timing and format have not been decided.
We're ready to continue diplomacy, including at the highest levels, to try to resolve this matter peacefully. But we are equally ready, and we are united as the West in imposing swift and severe consequences if Russia chooses to move forward.
Now, the U.S. has sent a letter to the United Nations warning Russia may have a list of specific Ukrainians, quote, to be killed or sent to camps following a military occupation. The Kremlin denies the claim. Repeating now, though, the headline, Russia's president has begun what he calls a peacekeeping operation in eastern Ukraine. It is still not confirmed if that includes troops. Live in the newsroom, Alice Gaynor, CBS 2 News.
Okay, Alice, thank you.